I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It is Sunday, January 25th, 2026. It's kind of like a second Saturday, and why is that? Because Snowmageddon 2026 has officially hit somewhere out there. Where I'm at, it doesn't look like there's not. I mean, it's not that much snow. I mean, I'll put it to you this way. It's nowhere near what they said we were going to get. I'm disappointed. We haven't had a really decent, good snowstorm since 2012. 2012 was the last time we've had a snowstorm that's been worth a damn. So ever since then, it's just crap. I mean, we got snow. Okay. It's just not nearly as bad as they said it would be. And I feel like I have PTSD from being at the grocery store on Saturday morning. And I am mad about that. And I'm mad at the weathermen about that. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm just mad about it. I'm not happy about it. So it is what it is, but we are here. We're here to walk you guys through it and give you some great entertainment, give you some good education, talk about politics and a lot of other things going on. We're going to be talking about current government actions all over the place in East Central Indiana. We're going to be talking about the upcoming 2026 election cycle. Of course, that's what we're going to be talking about all year long, so get used to it. We've got a lot to cover. But before we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, I have one real quick, brief thing that I need to play here for you, and it's just going to kind of set us off here. Just again, down that road of public servants that are not actually public servants. It's gross. I've already sent out an email complaining about this, and I need to kick this off. So for those of you specifically in the Delaware County area, we are going to get to our guest. We've got a guest, and it's not even a guest. I don't want to say it's guest. We've got contributing Katherine. We've got contributing Katherine coming on. We have contributing correspondent Katherine Callahan, Dr. Callahan, coming on here in just a moment to talk about some Delaware or Madison County stuff. And we'll talk about some state stuff as well and just kind of be all over the board as we are with Katherine. But before we get there, I do have one Delaware County thing that we have to cover just briefly. And as we start, it's Sunday, January 25th. If you're here live, welcome. Thank you for being here. For those of you that watch later, for those of you that listen to the audio podcast or listen and watch via replay, welcome. Thank you for being here wherever and whenever you're here. We very much appreciate it. But I do have to say, last week, a week ago, it was Sunday, January 18th, and we were going into Monday, and that was, of course, Martin Luther King's Day. And so a lot of governments were closed down, Delaware County being one of them. So Delaware County's commissioners meeting wasn't on Monday the 19th like it would normally be. They kicked it until Tuesday the 20th. And the Delaware County commissioners held their regular meeting. Now, for most people, we know the Delaware County commissioners meetings are normally 35, 40, 50 minutes, maybe an hour. Maybe at the longest, they're an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes long. That's like generally the longest. Well, ladies and gentlemen, last Tuesday on the 20th, the Delaware County commissioners meeting lasted for a total of 2 hours and 27 minutes. That's a long meeting, I agree. But it's kind of just like you got to do what the flow of business is. And if a meeting lasts for 35 minutes, it lasts for 35 minutes. If a meeting lasts for 15 minutes, it's 15 minutes. If the meeting lasts for 3 hours, you kind of got to do what you got to do. It is what it is. But I want you guys to hear this. We're not going to listen to the entire meeting. I have been going back and listening to it. I'm about 45 minutes or maybe 50 minutes through it. However, I had a listener bring this to my attention this evening, and we're going to jump all the way to the end, and I want you guys to hear something and hear how gross this is, and we're going to start off with this. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, Delaware County. The president is the 600-year-old Sherry Riggin. She's the person in the middle. And then off to our left-hand side on the screen is Commissioner Stephen Brand. He's the newest member. And then the gentleman that is bald is on the right-hand side of the screen. That is Shannon Henry. And they're all Republicans, okay? And I want you to listen to what happens right here, okay? This is at 2 hours, and they had a recess. They took a little bathroom break in the middle. I want you guys to listen to what happens. This is at the 2 hour, 23 minute, and 36 second mark. Here we go.
It's been a long meeting. I don't have anything.
Okay, it's been a long meeting. He doesn't have anything to add. It's been a long meeting, and he seemed just kind of exasperated and just, whew, God, it's been a long meeting, okay? So that was that. All right, let's listen to this.
Commissioner Brand.
Yeah, it has been a long meeting, so I'm going to condense this. The no before training.
Okay, so Brand even says, yeah, it has been a long meeting, so I'm going to condense this, and okay, great, whatever, fantastic, good stuff there, whatever. He talks about a couple things, and he wraps it up, gets it wrapped up pretty shortly, and then we're going to hear from Sherry Riggin. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, is at the 2 hour, 25 minute, and 59 second mark. And before we click into this, I want you to know that the commissioners meet twice a month. They meet the first and third Monday of the month. Okay, let's listen to this.
I think they've quit talking about a roundabout. They talked about a stoplight. They didn't want to do that, so now they're proposing one of those.
This is the end of his remarks here,
which is a J turn. So I just want to make the public aware of that.
Yes.
I had a lot more written down, but I'm not going to say it.
Well, Miss Caitlin, I just suggested that when we put anything.
Miss Caitlin is like the commissioner's administrator. She's like the office secretary in the commissioner's office. Now, the auditor is the true secretary for the commissioners, but Miss Caitlin here is who sets up their agendas. Now, listen to what Sherry Riggin says here.
On the agenda, that we allow it maybe 3 minutes, and so keep this in mind because we are all busy. And so if we want to have an hour meeting, then we would say, I'm sorry, our agenda's full. It has to come on the next week. But I'm glad to serve the public, and we're glad the public's here, but we do all have other things to be done. So with that, I'll.
Wait, what? What did this lady just say? this lady that's getting paid $70,000, $60,000 to sit here for a brief couple of hours a month. What did she just say? She wants to make sure to keep the meetings to an hour. And so now not only are they talking about allowing the public 2 or 3 minutes to speak, now they're wanting to make sure that just all of the agenda items are kept to like a 3-minute time limit. And if there's seriousness, like, for example, if there's crazy crime breaking out in Delaware County and the prosecutor's coming and talking about needing money, like for a capital murder case, or if the coroner is needing body bags, or if the highway people are dealing with crazy weather and they need salt and they're needing to come to the commissioners, and maybe they got to the point where there's like 48 minutes worth of meeting, and we've got the prosecutor and the coroner and the highway superintendent come, and the lady says, "Oh, I'm sorry, 2 of you are going to have to come back next meeting next month because Commissioner Riggin doesn't want to let the meeting be as the meeting is." She and listen to what she says here. What exactly does she say here again? Let's listen to this again.
We allow it maybe 3 minutes, and so keep this in mind because we are all busy, and so
we are all busy. What does that mean? We are all busy. So are you saying, Sherry, that maybe 9 o'clock in the morning is not the best time to have the meeting? Should we maybe have the meeting at the end of the day when your day's jobs and work are done? Maybe should we have the meeting at, say, 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. when the public could attend and when you should be less busy? Maybe that's something we should speak on. But what else does she say here?
if we want to have an hour meeting, then we would say, I'm sorry, our agenda's full. It has to come on the next week. But
first of all, we don't meet every week, so it wouldn't come the next week. It would come the next meeting, okay? But then what does she say here?
I'm glad to serve the public, and
I'm glad to serve the public. It doesn't sound like she's glad to serve the public. It sounds like she's a tired old hag that is not happy or thrilled with anything that she's doing. Doesn't seem like she's enjoying this job at all. What else does she say here?
the public's here, but
She's glad the public's here. It doesn't seem like she's glad the public's here. What else does she say here?
we do all have other things to be done.
We do all have other things to be done. What do you mean? Listen, nobody held a gun to your head and made you run. No one asked you to run. Matter of fact, nobody wanted you to run. You should.
Okay, I have
ran.
to say anything.
Hold on. Wait. You can say all you want to say, and I'm going to ask you what you say, but I got to get finished here real quick. Stand by. Hold on just 1 second. All right, so I sent off an email to all three commissioners that said, "Commissioners, hello all. Just listen to the most recent meeting from Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, the meeting that lasted 2 hours and 27 minutes. And I have to say, I was more than a little disappointed to hear Commissioner Sherry Riggin complaining about the length of the meeting and pushing it to keep the meetings to an hour. Commissioner Riggin went on to say that she was happy to serve, and she followed that up with a bunch of crap. It shouldn't need to be said, but I guess I'll have to say it. There is no but, Sherry. If it's getting too long or too hard, and any of you aren't able to deal with the business that comes as it comes, then maybe it's time to resign."
There.
Yep,
Right
absolutely,
there.
100%.
Absolutely.
I just cannot believe that what I was hearing. Bottom line, you have to be willing to do the work as it comes. If your life outside of public service is so busy that it gets in the way of your life as a public servant, then resign, period. That was very disappointing, and honestly, it was disrespectful to all other public servants, and more importantly, it was disrespectful to your room full of bosses, the public. Sherry, it might be time to resign. If any of you are interested in communicating with me about this, please don't hesitate to reach out via email or via phone, and I sent it out. I sent that to all three commissioners, And I sent a text message specifically to Sherry so I would make sure that she would get it. This was gross. It was ridiculous. And I think I'll be at the next Delaware County Commissioners meeting to put all of this on the record. And it's absolutely gross. So what are your thoughts here?
So I was glad that you said, because the first thing needs to be across this going, diagonally is, when will we be accepting your resignation?
Yeah. I mean,
if
you're too busy.
Obviously, yeah, Kate's thinking right where I am at. That's $1,400 an hour. And this woman's complaining. I don't even make that kind of money in what I do with all my education. I don't make that much per hour.
Sure.
I mean, I'm absolutely appalled. I don't know why that the next meeting, it isn't filled with constituents who stand at the podium. And you know what? One by one, it's not going to take 3 minutes. One by one, people go up there, get about, 100 of you in there, and go up there and say, we want you to resign. We want you to resign. And maybe she can sit in there for 120 minutes and people asking her to resign.
Yeah.
Because no apology will make this correct. Clearly, this is an annoyance to her.
Yeah.
Right?
And let me tell you, this time, it wasn't even the public. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at this yet, but I don't think that there were actual public comments at this meeting. This was a meeting. This was a 2-hour long meeting, 2 hours and 27 minute meeting. That was that long because of all government action. There were no public here that spoke.
So is she up for election?
No. She ran last time. She's here for 2 more years. She's safe.
Y'all need to do something different about her because she needs to go.
Absolutely. Well, and here's the crazy thing. So 3 years ago, it was Shannon Henry who on live video during the meeting says, I'm tired of this transparency shit. Literally says this. Now, he's not up for re-election either. He's the one that his seat's up, but he's not running. He's done. So he's the bald gentleman, the guy off to the right. He's the one that said, I'm sick of the transparency shit. And so he's done. And we were ready for him to be done. He should have resigned then too, but he didn't because he likes the money, just hates the job, hates the people. And now and here's the thing. She's in the president's seat. They just voted. Brand should have been the president. I don't know why he wasn't. And she's now the president running this meeting. And this is what she had to say. And I was very disgusted. I didn't know about this because I'm only about 50 minutes into the meeting watching it. It is a long meeting and there's a lot there to be done. And it's not for everybody, but you got to do the work.
Well, I hope Brand will come back and start holding longer meetings just for this. Yeah. Okay. So if she's not going to resign, let's just have longer meetings so that she will eventually resign because she doesn't want to be there for longer than 60 minutes because you're cutting into her $1,400 hour paycheck.
Yeah.
I mean, this is craziness.
My thing is, if they actually do, and I don't know how there would be any way to do this, but if they actually do have the government officials hold the stuff to an hour, then the citizens have to show up and put themselves on the list and they have to go speak and do all that shit because we need to keep them. I want to hold her hostage here now. This is like a hostage situation politely. I mean, I don't mean anything criminal. I mean, by public consent, but with the topics and the public concern. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's crazy.
Absolutely. I mean, this is horrible. I mean, there are days I think Madison County's worse than you guys.
Right here, Alva. She had plenty of time to take a European vacation on the public's dime, and there was no rush and no worry then. She had plenty of time. And so, and she's been here for like 200 years. I think her first bout in office, I think, was Christ walked the earth.
See, I don't understand why we keep recycling and re-electing people who just don't want to serve the community. And clearly you can tell just by her resting face and her demeanor that this is an inconvenience and that we, the people, are beneath her. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised she doesn't have a cross sitting around her neck on top of this that necklace she has.
Yes.
So I just don't understand why we do that. And which brings me to something I posted about this weekend. You've got another rep, a state rep, and they're trying to limit how we're going to vote, right? So we got Rorway, who wants to take away electing coroners and electing, auditors and all that. And then you've got another rep who they're trying to move that the governor should have a running mate, and we shouldn't be voting for who the lieutenant governor should be. I mean, why do we keep voting for people who want to restrict what we can vote on?
Wait, you're talking about what they're wanting to do is, so right now the lieutenant governor is not voted on by the people in the primary. It's voted on by delegates, and listen, I'm a little torn. I need to look through this and find, because I think there could be a case to be made to have the lieutenant governor be on the ballot and let the entire let us all vote for that person.
But they're wanting to vote for them as a team, like we do the president.
We do the president. Here's what the issue is, and I'll tell you what the issue is. The issue is this is a slap at Beckwith and how he rose to power. And listen, I don't like Beckwith. I don't like Beckwith at all. I don't want Beckwith to be the lieutenant governor. I sure as hell don't want him to be the governor, and I don't want him to be elected to any office anymore from this point forward. I would like him to resign. If he doesn't resign, if he makes it through, okay, let's let him do this 4 years and then be done with him. But just because I don't like him, I don't want to then start going and changing things just to slap back at him, because what if there's somebody else does it like he did it, that's good, and we try to keep that person down? So I would need to look at this and determine. There could be parts of it that are good. I haven't read all the way through this yet or not, but I don't just like, I'm not a person that says somebody that I don't like got into power by a way that's how we've done it, and now because they're in power, I'm boo-hooing, we're going to change it. That to me is like a way, it's like cheating. I've never been a fan of, okay, we're going to play tag with my brother and my cousins when I was a little kid, and because I tagged my cousin's like, oh, well, no, wait a minute. No, we're going to change the rules. And I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. That's bullshit. We're going to play it the way we designed it to start in the beginning, and we're not changing the rules halfway through just because it protects Republicans now or whatever. Just because I might be on the Republican side of things, I'm not into that. So I agree with you.
Well, and like I said, I mean, any political figure that attempts to restrict or take away voting rights or consolidate power for themselves is, I feel like, engaging in behavior that's almost criminal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, women have fought to vote, minorities have fought to vote, and now they're just slowly taking everything we vote on away from us and condensing all of that to themselves. Listen, I used to be a Beckwith supporter. Okay, largely because I was tired of recycling the same candidate and generally wanted the change. I don't necessarily think Diego and Beckwith have been bad per se. Now, they shouldn't be reelected. Please don't misunderstand me. But they've exposed a lot of craziness, right? So, and here's the thing. There's nothing about Diego or Beckwith that's calculated. There's nothing strategic about them. They don't even have the intelligence enough to expose what they're exposing. For example, the crazy vehicles they've bought on taxpayer dollars, right? We've just stumbled on that. Now, somebody has come out and they certainly have restricted, what they're going to do as far as purchasing more vehicles. But I'm just not into all this restricting of who's going to vote, who can't vote. I would like to see the governor run, and I don't know that you'll like this. The governor runs every 4 years, right? And then the opposite would be the lieutenant governor. So they would be coming into that seat at 2 different times. Only because I feel like the governor and lieutenant governor, they don't hold each other in check. And I think they should do a better job of that. Now, I don't know, with Braun and Beckwith, I'm not sure what's going on in their show. It's the craziest show I've ever seen, but it's entertaining.
Something like that. Yeah, it's something like that.
I mean, this is just nuts. So, okay, let me ask you this. Do you think Beckwith's going to finish all 4 years?
Well, I mean, his plan is to finish all 4 years.
But do you think?
I've said from the very get-go that after about 3 weeks in office, I thought, man, this guy is such a gaffe machine. I mean, honestly, talking about the gaffes and the craziness, he's actually worse than Biden was with all just the nonsense and the things that he comes up with and the trouble that he keeps getting himself into. So I came out very early on and said, like, man, I don't know that this guy is going to finish out of his first full year. Like, I could see him getting himself into some kind of trouble, and it's going to make him have to leave his first year. We've obviously made it through the first year.
Listen,
and I've said, okay, we've got 3 years left. And I've said, I still will say, I don't think he's capable of holding it down. I think that something could happen and that he could be in a position where he has to resign and does not hold out all 4 years.
If he gets away with this AI video and this paternal thing or whatever he's going to last all 4 years.
Well, so when we say if he gets away with it, first of all, just to be fair, he's not accused with anything in the paternal situation, the Peternell, the sex crimes
He
deal.
just is shutting down anybody in the church who speaks of it.
Sure, but now, in all fairness, what he does in the church is not state government. So while the church thing might be weird, just playing devil's advocate, being fair to him here, that's not specifically government related, and he's not accused of anything with that. But I will say, I don't think that situation is done yet for the church, for the Peternells, or for Micah. I'll just put that out there. I think that there's something deep out there that may come out at some point. Just depends on if or when it does. That could really be bad, and that'll be interesting. And I don't think that the AI porn video is done, because I know that the grand jury has done their case, and a lot of people are like, well, that was a long time ago. Well, here's the thing. The grand jury investigations take a long time because there's long times between when they meet. And I think I heard somebody say that they just recently wrapped their investigation. So now it comes to the time where they will deliberate and then decide. So that's not over yet. So something could still come from
his office was just smeared by the AI scandal, that it wasn't.
Sure. Yeah. I would say his office was smeared with it. Now, the thing is, he's saying that it was false allegations that smeared it. And I think that it was legitimate allegations that smeared the office. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know. The lady that is the whistleblower, Erin Sheridan, I believe her wholeheartedly. And we'll see what comes of it. I don't know.
Well, I sent you 2 pictures for everybody in Messenger just before now we're going to start on Madison County, but I just wanted to share this with you. Originally, when I went out to snowblow, I didn't have anything to measure, so I just used this can to measure it, and then I sent it on. I guess my mom must have sent it on to I thought it was to my kids, and I thought, if this is how they're learning to do measurements in college, I'm very worried, but it wasn't. And it was from my brother, who sent back his measurement to me. And so hopefully everybody is enjoying the snow. So that's kind of a taller bottle there.
So anybody, I mean, everybody should know. I would say, well, maybe not everybody, but the majority of your men will know what this is, and your single ladies, I guess, because this was Catherine's bottle. So, it is what it is. So this is kind of a good measurement showing what's Catherine got exactly how much snow in Catherine's neighborhood. Well, it's exactly 1 True Fuel can amount of snow. Okay. David Williams has entered.
My brother's out in DC. That's where he resides.
Well, so what she's saying is that she sent this off to her mother, and then her mother sent this around, and then she gets a picture back, and she's thinking that the picture is coming from her college age children, And I would have thought the picture was coming from the college age children too. Here's what this, she gets this picture and they're like, they say, wait a minute, you're testing your snow, your amount of snow with a True Fuel can. Hold my beer. And so she thinks that her girls are sending her this measurement of snow. And out there, it's less than 2 Miller Lite cans worth of snow. But no, this was not from her children. This was from who?
That's from my brother. That's a true military man there.
A true military man. Coming
30 years he was in.
Coming from Washington, D.C. area. So they of course, they're getting hit more now. So I'm sure that the cans are a little bit more covered up at this point. But
he likes his beer pretty cold, so he probably was using the snow to hold it while he was shoveling.
Also yeah, right. Yeah, right. So, hey, you gotta measure it how you can. You know what I mean? Right. So it is what it is. Well, that's good.
So, Kristopher, let's talk about Madison County because it's always something, right? So now, remember Stephanie Maystanis, I brought to you that they were charging her to notarize her papers in order to file for election. So she's running around. She's trying to find an ATM. I'm telling you right now, Madison County government, you might as well just put an ATM machine in the building so you can just continue with all your illegal activity. So I'm going back and forth with Nicole. I don't know if she's on here tonight. And so I get this random question about, here's what happened. I was reading through messages on Facebook. Everybody, I want to tell you something about Facebook. I'm in timeout. I can't comment. I can post, but I can't reply to anybody, just so you know. So it's not me. I'm willing to reply, but I just can't until February 1. However, so I read this post and it says, and I called Kristopher. I said, hey, the clerk's office is charging $4 for a financial packet. Now, I have never heard of this financial packet, and I've run in the race in 20.
What do you mean you've never heard of the financial packet?
I've never heard of this, right? Because I just go to the website, I get what I need. I mean, but in 20, nobody mentioned this financial packet to me. In 22,
well, you've submitted your financial reports.
Yeah. But this isn't about submitting the financials. This is like directions on what to do.
No, it's the reports that you actually fill out. So that's what this is. So people, when they run for office, you can get these records a couple of ways. You can get the records.
I don't want to hear it, Nicole.
Yeah. So you can get the documents that you need to file for office. You can print them out online from home. It does not cost you anything. What if I don't have a printer? Wait. I know. So you can get them. You can get them from your home computer or from your cell phone or whatever, and you can print them out at home. Or if you don't have a printer, you can go to the library and print them out and do all of that. Or if you don't have that, you can go get a copy of, and it's the forms.
Is it free to print at the library?
I think it's free. I don't know that it's free to copy. I think it's free to print.
Okay.
So I think that, but it's these forms. It's these forms that you can get that you filed to run for office. But then also in the Delaware County, I'll tell you how it's done in Delaware County. In Delaware County, if a person wants to run for office, they go and they pick up a packet of paper. And what this packet of paper includes is all of the forms that you need to fill out to run. Plus, it's got a couple of each of the financial reports. And they give that to you because you will need to do those in April to then submit back in to...
See, I've never been offered a packet in Madison County. So when I read this comment about Nicole and I asked you about it, you thought I had 3 heads.
Yeah, right.
But I only have 1.
So yeah, right. So because you don't have to pay for this information, and it's not. There's a lot. I've heard people say, "Well, wait a minute. Well, maybe you have to pay if you're a candidate, or if you're an incumbent, but you're not a candidate, or you're a candidate, but you're not an incumbent." No, these documents are free. You can get them from the Indiana Secretary of State's for free. They are given out. The county governments do not make you pay for these. They should not make you pay for these. And if you are going to your county council, your county clerk, and they are trying to, first of all, when you request records that are not court records, any record that you request from your local government, your public access requests, or any kind of document that they print off that is a black and white computer printed paper, is 10 cents. Okay. They can't charge you $1. They can't charge you $2. They can't charge you $5. Now, there are some records they can charge you. If it's color, they can charge you more. Or if it's court documents that are certified and things, they can charge you more. But if you're just talking about a regular printer paper that's got a black and white something copied on the front of it, that's 10 cents. So first off, if they are going to charge you, it should be 10 cents. But for campaign finance, campaign filing, they don't charge you. They shouldn't charge you. And if they do, you should push back and definitely do not pay that.
So if I go in there and I say, hey, I need a candidacy form, can they charge me to give that to me? No. And if they do, it's a problem. Can they charge me to notarize? You should back up. You should back up, and you should contact the Indiana Secretary of State's Election Division. And if you don't know how to do that, you should back up and contact Katherine or I, and let us help you and walk you through it. Now, as far as the notary, so it's weird. It's not notarizing it like you think notarizing it. And they can't charge you. They should not charge you. I think that's way crazy, because as you can see here on my paper, I did not get mine notarized. You can go to your bank and get your forms notarized, or you can go to your county clerk's office, and your county clerk or the chief deputy clerk or the people that they have designated to do this can fill this out and can put their little seal on this. And it says Delaware County Clerk, and it's got the Delaware County Clerk seal, and it says Indiana, Delaware, gives the day, and they write down their name just as they do in a notary. And because it says on here clearly, it says notary public or other official administering oath accordingly to Indiana Code 334297. And they all have this power, and this is a part, they're getting paid to do this, and they should not be charging you more money to do this. No. And David Williams, on those walking lists, if they email you those walking lists, you shouldn't have to pay for anything.
That's what David said to them. And we're going to be battling that battle here real soon. We got a couple things up the sleeve. We got a couple things we're going to do, but what they're currently doing to David Williams and many other candidates in Delaware County and elsewhere is absolutely wrong. Tim Overton is absolutely wrong for what he's doing to David. It's complete crap, and it will be addressed.
So did you talk to Nicole? Because I talked to somebody else, and they were charged $4 for this packet. It's crazy. It's crazy. No, I have not actually talked to Nicole. I had heard what you'd said, and I got some pictures from Nicole where they had actually given her a receipt for charging her this $4, and it's real crazy to me, because what they're doing is they're charging some people and not charging others. And in my opinion, that is like, how in the hell can Madison County turn just giving papers out to the candidates into
almost like a civil rights case. Like they're charging some people, but not others. Were the
Well,
people
it's
they charging
because-
black? Were the people they charging women? Were the people they charging, were they disabled? I mean, you know, what are they picking and choosing who they charge and who they don't charge? It's totally crazy.
Well, the whole point of this is that Linda should never be the clerk. She has no idea what's going on, and all you ever hear come out of her mouth is, "I'm learning. I'm new at this."
Yeah.
Listen, she's had enough time to be in that seat. And then she's got her whole team, and I don't think any of those people are actually reading the guidelines of what their job is, what Indiana code says. It's completely confusing and conflicting.
Yeah. Man, Nicole, I wish that we could go back and go back in time and change it. I wish that you would have been like, man, this just doesn't sound right. And you would have called Catherine or called me, or skipped Catherine and just called me. Cause I would have drove my ass up there and we would have got those documents, for free. It's crazy. I mean, and look, and the whole thing is,
Nicole should go back and get her money. She should get a refund.
the whole thing is, listen, I think that's very, very valid. And here's the thing: there are going to be people out there that hear this that say, "Oh, you guys are this is what you're bitching about? It's $4." Well, okay. Here's the deal: forget, for the sake of argument right now, how much it is.
I want to know where the
Let's
$4
say
is going.
Yeah, right. What fund is this $4 going into? Forget, for the sake of argument right now, that it's $4. Okay, let's say it could be $60. It could be. It could have been $1. It could have been 10 cents. This could have been 40 cents, and I would have fought 40 cents. I would have fought 40 cents because what we know is they are charging some people and not charging other people. So we have to get to the bottom of why is that? Why are they charging some and not charging others? First off, that's a problem. But second of all, these are documents that the state of Indiana, these are not documents that this is the problem with this. These are not proprietary documents that the Madison County government put together. These are documents that your and mine and everybody else in the state of Indiana's tax dollars have funded the attorneys for the state of Indiana election division coming up with the best words, or in some case not the best words, and coming up with these documents, making these documents and making these forms, and then sending these forms out everywhere to all 92 counties, putting them online where you can get them for free. And I get it. Not everybody has a printer, and doing everything that I do. Hell, sometimes I don't have ink. Ink's like 70, 80, 90 bucks. And sometimes I go months without having ink. So I get it. And not everybody has a printer. I mean, I get it. The bottom line is this is supposed to be free. It's supposed to be free.
Well, do you have some pictures of these items that Nicole paid for?
Did you send them to me somewhere?
I think they're in Messenger.
I'm just going back to see which messenger you sent them to, or who sent them to. I don't even know who sent them to me. Somebody sent them to me.
I'm curious
Isn't there
about something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my question is, when she went in and they gave her these forms, did they make it sound like she couldn't just go home and print them?
Well, I don't know what they told her, but they're not. Here's the deal. They're not charging elected officials.
What?
But they're charging random people.
So they're not charging the incumbents for these,
which makes no sense.
They're charging their opponents and not informing them they could go home and print them themselves.
Especially first
or
time
just give
people.
them the damn thing.
You should see these forms. that they're talking about.
You think Selma probably got that much?
I mean,
Okay.
Right.
They did tell
Yeah,
you could
that's
print it
crazy.
at home or find it online. Okay,
Right?
that's good. But at the same time, why are they charging?
because nobody holds anybody accountable in Madison County. I mean, the prosecutor's office even looks the other way, and they're like, "Oh, if you just bring it to us, we'll take care of it." Well, we do bring it to you, and then what happens? A special prosecutor comes in.
Damn it.
They're like, "Yeah, there's
Hold on a
problems
second.
here, but oh well." But I think there's something in Indiana code, like you can't be charging people for these documents. You know, one of the documents, Kate, is the one that has all the dates on one side of when all the deadlines are, and then on the other side has all the other. I mean, it's a 2-page. I mean,
So they have this, it's the schedule. Oh, here, let me pull
it's like a
up
trifold. You can make it a trifold.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's
They're charging for that.
The election schedule, which
my
again
thing
is
is
available online. You don't
Yeah.
even, I don't know why you'd need a printed hard copy of that.
Yeah, and I agree with Nicole. She just wanted to make sure she had the right papers. If you're a first-time person, if you're a novice at doing this, you may print off the wrong thing. And then what happens? They come back and they're like, "Oh, well, you missed this I and you didn't put a dot on top of it. So we're throwing out your application and you don't get to run. Oh, well, you missed this and now we're going to charge you $50. But you know, all those other people who were delinquent, we're not charging them anything." It's just such a circus show up there.
CFA4.
And then, you know what really just chaps me? Heather Bailey went from making $30,000 a year, and she's making over $50,000 a year in a year's time.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Maybe this is paying for her raise. I have no idea. I mean, listen,
That's what just went through my head.
I don't
too.
know. I
They
mean,
only gave her 4 forms for the financials. Yes?
4 forms. Oh, there's Alva says there's 8 pictures. One of the pictures is a receipt.
Okay. So we have a receipt.
So, but you can't charge more than 10 cents. Okay, let me ask you this. Is it 10 cents if it's a 2-sided? Does that
20
make it
cents.
It would be
Yes.
20 cents.
Okay.
So 10 cents per page,
Per page.
Okay.
single page. So a 2-sided page would technically be 2 pages.
Yeah, well, that should be 5 cents because you're not wasting a sheet of paper.
No,
Whatever.
you're using the ink.
But it's the ink.
It's the ink. There was over 10 pages. Well, I'm
Okay.
telling you,
Well,
if you
even
pull
10
up a
pages
CFA,
at 10 cents a page is
that's
a dollar.
Yeah, right.
It's a dollar.
But we're talking about it. See, I don't even like getting in the weeds and talking about shit that doesn't
No,
matter because
it
it
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
they
It's supposed to
doesn't
be
charge
free.
you. It's free.
But how can we prove to them that they shouldn't be charging us?
What I'll do is I'll go in there and I'll ask for these documents, and when they tell me it's money, I'll call the Indiana Secretary of State's office while I'm standing there, and we'll prove to them that they don't charge. That's the deal. That's it. That's all that there is.
So
Okay.
for all you people who are getting stiffed by the election division up at Madison County, listen, I know.
Just don't listen. I don't care where you're at. Whatever county, if anybody is hearing this anywhere, do not go in and pay for anything. Do not go pay for anything. Period.
Not
Point
for the
blank.
Notary, not for
Don't go-
copies of
yeah,
the
don't-
forms, nothing.
Now, if you
in
go
the election office.
in the election office, now
In
you
the
might
election
go to your bank and they might charge you $1 or $4 or $5 for your notary. Most banks, if you are a member, don't charge you. But
Right.
you know,
Mine
you
doesn't.
there, yeah,
Or if
right.
You have friends who are notaries.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah. But there are places that their notaries will charge you. So if that happens, that's fine. But if you want to avoid that, you can just go to your county clerk's office and they have to do it for free. But if they're going to charge you, don't do it. Don't do that. That's stupid.
Yeah, don't.
That makes no sense.
Okay,
so
Nicole, even if they were double-sided, 10 times 20 pages, it's still $2.
It's 20 yeah,
You
it's
got ripped off.
$2.
What were you doing? Tipping them?
Yeah, right. So
I don't
want
really
to
understand.
I want to show you this.
The CFA form with the instructions and all the attachments is 20 pages.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, right here it is. This is in.gov/sos/elections/candidate information. If you go to Google, and in Google you type Indiana SOS Elections Division, and you pull it up and you go to the candidate information, you will get this. You will see 2026 general information. The first line says 2026 primary candidate list. And what this is at the end of each day, all 92 counties have to turn in a report to the Secretary of State's office, and they upload this and they put on this. What that list shows you is it's an online version of this. It's the online version of this that shows you who's filing in all 92 counties for what offices. Okay, so that's what that is. All right. Then it drops down and it shows you the 2026 candidate guide. And you can click on this, and what that prints off is quick information like what dates are happening, yada, yada, yada. Then it shows, then it's the election calendar brochure, the Democratic Party candidate districts, and the Republican Party delegate districts. Then this is what you need. This is the big thing. The second header is the 2026 candidate forms. And here you have the CAN 1, the CAN 2, the CAN 3, the CAN 10, CAN 12, CAN 16, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 26, 32, 33, 34, 37, and 41. And that's only for a couple different areas. Okay. And so this is what you need. You would need to pull you need to make out your candidate filing. That's a candidate filing challenge. So that's something, if Katherine was going to run and I wanted to challenge her, I would pull that out. CAN 2 is your declaration of candidacy for primary election. So a candidate wanting to run for something on the local election, you would have to print that out. Okay. Declaration of intent to be write-in candidate, primary election candidate withdrawal. So you just have to look through here, and maybe not every person will know what this is. You kind of have to look. This is why people like to go to their clerk's office, because everyone could come down here and print all this shit off, but you don't have to. The thing is, at the clerk's office, they have all these things printed up. But if you want to run and you have a printer at your house and you don't want to mess with the clerk's office, you can contact me and I'll help you with what you fill out, with what you've got to do. And then there's that. So then if you want, then for the campaign finance, you come over here on the blue side and you click campaign finance, and it takes you to this. Okay. And then this is,
now see, I've read that from front to back, and I print it off and have it in a binder. I have it in a 1-inch binder, and like I flip through it and tab it. So I don't understand why Heather is charging these people.
Because no one's pushed back on it.
Just think how much money they've been collecting. What other things are they collecting money on?
Yeah, I mean, it would really be nice to know. I mean, what other things
Do
they're
you have
charging
Nicole's
on.
receipt? Can we look at that?
Mm-hmm.
See, I think the county council should ask Linda when she needs stuff to just pull stuff out of whatever account this money's going into.
This petty cash fund.
No wonder people want to work for the government. These petty cash funds make them rich.
Katherine, I don't know where you sent it. Can you send it to me in Messenger?
Let me see. It is in Messenger. Let's see here. People are saying we should leave Linda Smith alone and allow her incompetence to just run. I don't know about that, people. I don't understand anything about her that is why somebody would even want her to be in an office. It's absolutely embarrassing.
It's really bad. I mean, it's really bad. It does not make a bit of damn sense. Did you send it to me?
I've sent it to you right now.
I don't understand why. I mean, I don't understand why anybody would want that. I don't understand why anybody would want that. I don't understand. Let me see if I can get it closer here. Give me a second. Did you fall over?
No.
Did somebody fall over? Should you go check?
Yeah, I probably should do that.
All right. Turn your camera off real quick.
Well, how do we do that?
Hit C on your computer. I'm going to take her down just in case somebody did fall over. It sounded like somebody fell over. That's exactly right, Nicole. She seems nice, but nice isn't qualified. But I will say, for the record, she only seems nice. I don't honestly think she is nice. Dealing with her is a pain in the ass. Honestly, I don't honestly think that she really is nice. I think that she plays games. I think that she's willing to lie. And that's the other issue. Many of the staff members are the ones who mess up, and she lets it happen. I agree. Absolutely. I see the way she treated Savage. That's absolutely true. The way that she treats Katherine. And it's simply because people question her, Is everything okay? All right. Yeah. Turn your camera back on. Hit C again.
That's so neat.
Yeah.
I learned so much tonight.
That was cool. What happened? Okay. Yeah.
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay, that's fine. Here's official receipt. Clerk of the Madison County Courts. And it's real nice. It's got Nicole's name in there as the payer. I mean, think how much think how much ink they've got to print out. Just if they didn't print out these stupid
Was she charged for the receipt too?
Yeah, right. No, I don't think so. Thank God. And it says receipt number 26. Look. This tells us this is the 457th copy this year of this receipt. See it? The number is 2026-00457-2FL.
That's what that means?
Well, seeing numbers like that to me makes me think of a police report. And when you see a police report like that, the 457 would be the number of reports.
Yeah, but also notice what they've called it. Copy fees for non-court documents. So they've just lumped it into any other copy that they've made.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. So it's miscellaneous. So you
mean to tell me if I go in there and ask them for a sample ballot, they're going to charge me?
Well, they shouldn't. You could just pick one up during the testing of the machines.
Don't even say it. I wouldn't touch anything in that room from now on. If they invite you to mess with the ballots, I would just watch the testing. I wouldn't even get near them. These people are nutbags.
$4, payment total $4, cash tendered $4, cash total tendered $4, change 000. 1/20/26, 12:09 p.m. Cashier, audit station 48 to clerk to 14:05/16 11/4 official receipt.
I mean, show a couple of these things that they're asking for. I can't imagine that the clerk's office prints this stuff out. I'm sending it to you a messenger. Prints this stuff out on colored paper.
No, they don't print it out on
I
colored
would think
paper.
the Secretary of State sends it to them, and that's how they get it. Show a couple of these pieces because it's just off the chain. Because colored paper is expensive.
They don't send it to them. They get on this. They get on the Indiana Secretary of State's website the same way I just did, and they just print. That's all they do.
So they get colored paper and they print this?
No, they're not printing on colored paper. They're printing on black and white.
No, look at what I've sent you. They're using colored paper.
Well, that's colored paper in their office. I don't know why the hell they would do that. That's stupid. I mean, that's stupid.
Well,
that's
maybe
just
they only do color coded things. I don't know.
That's stupid.
But I don't think it's necessary. I think
it's not necessary.
We're not in school anymore, people.
No.
We should know what a white sheet of paper is and a yellow sheet of paper is. And
yeah, this is the rules and shit. And this is tells them when the reports are.
Something there down at the bottom by Heather Bailey. I mean,
yeah,
she didn't make that sheet.
No. Now let me see this. Now, this is interesting. Now, that right there is made by the clerk's office. And you know what? I'm going to tell you this. You don't have to sign that, and I wouldn't have signed that. The Delaware County Clerk's Office tried this last year. Delaware County Clerk's Office tried this last year. They tried making people sign this, and I said, don't do it. Don't sign anymore. And it was a big fiasco. They got real mad at me, but everyone refused to sign it, and they stopped. Yeah. No, you don't have to sign it to get it. Bullshit. I would have pushed back on this again. Try to remember what you had to sign, because I'll go ask for the same thing. Important information. It's your responsibility to know the correct title for the office you are seeking, and if you are qualified and eligible to file for that office. If the office you are seeking is elected by district, it is your responsibility to know the district number. Any challenge to your candidacy is filed by a voter, not the clerk's office. Campaign finance questions are best answered by the state, and they give you that information. Please be aware of the campaign finance due dates. Failure to file accurate and on-time reports can result in penalties up to and including criminal prosecution. A calendar is included in this packet. It is not the responsibility of this office to remind you of the filing dates. Forms are updated from time to time by the state. It is your responsibility to ensure that you are submitting your reports on the current to date forms. Campaign finance forms can be found on the state's website. See, they're telling you where all this shit can be found.
And here's the thing. I don't really care what Linda puts in here, that it's their responsibility. She has a responsibility too. And her responsibility is to make sure that these things are on file and that they are being turned in appropriately. She has gone back. She's been in that office because she's up for election. So she's been in that office since 23. And she still is just now at the end of 25 looking through campaign reports that have been delinquent for years. Hell, one guy even died. She didn't even know that.
Yeah, right.
And so, but here's the thing. I don't know where Linda's going to stand on any leg to ever charge anybody for late fees on finance reports or do anything, because the fact is she just let everybody off who's done that. So they didn't charge anybody any fines or anything. So, when you set a precedence like that, that's why Linda just needs to resign and not run for that office again. You need to let a new clerk in there and say, okay, I understand that's how it's been done in the past, but now moving forward, you will be fined. These will be the issues. We will be checking these. None of this, what people are signing here, says the clerk will actually do her job. She will go find out which financial forms are delinquent, who hasn't turned them in, but they're not doing any of that. You know why? Because Linda would actually have to be in the office and she'd have to actually educate the people. But instead, she's letting people educate themselves. And how do you educate yourself on something you just don't know what you're supposed to learn? I mean, this is like me running a nursing school and be like, oh, well, you guys just read these chapters and figure it out. You can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's just no leadership, and the rules that Linda comes up with just are off the wall and all over the place. And then she wins an award at the end of the year. You got to be kidding me.
So here's our next yellow, our next colored paper. That's so weird. There's no point in any of that.
Can you imagine the amount of time they waste changing it so they have the right color paper for the right thing? So they can color code shit?
Yeah.
You want it color coded, get a marker and slash the corner.
Right? I mean, this is the crazy.
But there's no reason these things need to be color coded. This is stupid.
Now you know why they're not finding the financial reports, because they're too busy playing kindergarten stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what this is.
I mean, the next thing you know what's going to happen, we're going to start signing in crayon up there.
Yeah, right.
In that form that it's your responsibility. Yeah, dumbass, I'm running for office.
But
I understand
it's her responsibility.
I'm not signing shit.
Yeah, it's her responsibility to make sure everybody's turning their stuff in. It's her responsibility.
I don't know. I disagree with you there. It's not. I don't.
How are you going to have fines? You're not checking to make sure everybody turned them in. You don't have to notify them.
No.
But you should send them a letter that says you're in violation because you didn't submit yours. I'm not going to send them something telling them they need to turn it in, but I'm going to look and like, okay, I've got 5 people who are delinquent. Just like the bank, you're delinquent on your account. She should have that obligation.
That's what they do. Mm-hmm. No, that's in my opinion, their obligation is to do this. Their obligation should be when it's time for the forms to come in, and like, for example, Delaware County does this. So when the forms are due at noon on the Friday that they're due, and 2 or 3 people haven't turned them in, they will call and say, hey, you are past the deadline. And then they don't say, you need to get them in here. You hurry. It's up to the candidate. If they don't, then the election board can call them in and confine them or whatever. But they do that. It's not. Now, there are some places, like in small communities, where they actually will go above and beyond. And if they're going to, that's fine. But that's not something that they have to do, or that, whatever. But that is a nice extra service that they do. There's some places that'll actually help you fill your paperwork out. And I think that's going a little above and beyond. But
the thing is, Madison County doesn't help you because they don't even know what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
And so they can't help you. I mean, and that's what's so sad about the situation is, when you look at the last challenges in 2024, where Todd Culp didn't fill out his paperwork correctly, Commissioner Richwine didn't fill out his paperwork correctly, they were challenged, but they still got to go ahead and run.
Yeah.
Right. But then you look at these other candidates who didn't fill out their paperwork correctly, and they were dismissed and they weren't allowed to run. I mean, this is the part where this is a huge problem in Madison County. Rules for you, but not for us. Well, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
And listen, Nicole knows better. She should have had a GoPro on. She should have walked in there, and she should have, whatever she's going to do, but she should never walk in there unless she has a GoPro on. I don't know what part of her is not getting it, and she knows better. And so I don't know, Nicole, you're going to have to answer about that.
Nicole's in the hot seat.
Right?
It was a freebie.
No, you paid $4, Nicole.
No, yeah, right. No, she gave them a freebie.
Yeah. Well, she's going to go up there and ask for her money back.
I'm going to. I want to go in and ask.
You know how many packages of ramen noodles she could buy with that $4?
I'm trying not to be a cutthroat. I've got 3 complaints in. I hear you.
Well, you get ready to file another one, Nicole, at the state level.
Yeah.
Because they're never going to stop and they're never going to read. They're never going to learn until they do. And they can blow this off that really it's nothing and it's no big deal. And that's how they all want to act. And, but they are the first people to point the finger when we don't do. They know the rules when they want to apply them.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what becomes the problem in that office.
Yeah.
And so
it's not even that office. It's just the whole damn building, but yeah.
That is true. That is true. And so this will be interesting to see what comes of this $4. Now, which brings us to another topic. So tomorrow, government offices are closed. Does everybody know that who's watching this?
Yeah. This is a quick. Someone asked earlier if there was an update on the Henry County thing, and I take just a second.
Are the state ones closed too?
I think the state's closed. Yeah,
I know Madison County is closed.
Now I am not 100% sure on this, so I'm going to call the Secretary of State's office tomorrow. If they're open, I'll talk to them. If they're not, I'll call them on Tuesday. I think this might make them now push the deadline back a day or give us another day. I don't know if they will or not. I was thinking that when I think last election in 2024, we actually had a weather event that closed the buildings and they gave us an extra day. So I will check. Don't go on that. Let me find out and I will keep everybody posted. But I will say this. I want to talk about this just briefly. And I don't mean to cut in here on your show, but this goes along with what we're talking about, and we can get back to Madison County here in a second.
This is your show. What are you talking about?
I mean, this is right, clearly, but this is the Madison County night, but this goes right along with this. So somebody asked earlier.
The health department will be closed tomorrow in Madison County. So for you homeless people, it just really sucks to be you because the health department is going to be closed because you know why? That RV that they bought for them to take all over to help people in these extreme weathers, well, they're closed.
They're so stupid, man.
Oh.
The government over there is so stupid. So I want everybody to, I'm not going to play this whole thing, but I want you guys, I want to put this up just for a second. So Friday, everybody knows I've been waiting on record requests from a couple different police departments in and around dealing concerning with Henry County, Newcastle State Police. So Newcastle has completed their request. We have no more questions and they're done. We have nothing left with them. They completed their request early and I want to thank them. They were great and everything's good. So now I'm waiting on Henry County and the state police and a couple of other non-government entity things. Well, I've been talking to John Guy from the Henry County Sheriff's Department, and we've been talking about, because I've got to go in there and watch the videos. They're also going to give me copies of the reports. They're going to give me copies of the 911 call. And he told me that the 911 call was done the other day. And he said, do you want to go ahead and come get it? Or do you want to pick it up when you come to do everything else? And I sent back to him a message that said, yeah, right.
This one's
that's great. I sent back and said, well, we can do it like this. If the date that we set for me to come down and pick up and watch the videos is going to be soon, I can just get the 911 tape then. But if you're telling me that it's going to take some time, then I want to come get it now. And he didn't respond right back to me. He actually took 2 days to respond. And he finally responded Friday morning, like 9 o'clock in the morning. And he said, okay, we're still waiting. Hopefully it'll be soon on coming down, setting up the time to come down and view the stuff that you need to view. But we have the copy of the 911 tape here for you at the front desk. Just come in, pick up the phone, call the first number on the sheet and tell them who you are and what you're here for. and you'll be ready to pick it up. And they told me how much money it would cost. And I said, okay, it's a record request, and it's a digital disc. They told me it would be $30. And I said, okay, that's fine. So they said, come in and get it today. Yeah, I could come in and get it today. And I know that the Henry County Sheriff's Office, meaning the administrative people, not the road deputies, but the administration. So the detectives, the people, the staff that are not merit deputies, some of the deputies that are administrative deputies, and various people in there, the people in the office running the office, they leave at between 4 and 5 each day. Well, I got to the Henry County Sheriff's Office on Friday at like 2:50. So plenty enough time. And I go in and I pick up the phone, and it all looks shut down. And I call, and it rings and rings and rings and rings and rings. Nobody answers. So I go to the second number and I call, and it rings to a voicemail. And then I go to the third number down the sheet, and it rings and somebody answers. And I'm like, okay. Right as she answers, I see a sheet of paper over here, not in my line of sight, but over here, that says the Henry County Sheriff's Office has closed early today, Friday, January 23rd, 2026, due to the incoming weather.
Well, they were at Culver's eating.
I drove around. I spun around because now keep in mind, I just drove to Newcastle from Delaware County, and I didn't drive through any weather. Matter of fact, it was like a warmer day than it had been. And I like drove around. I turned around, I looked, and so this lady answers, and I said, "Hey, I'm here to pick up this record, this CD, and I'm supposed to contact John Guy, but I'm not getting a response when I call him, and I just see this concerning paper up here. You know, it's like not time for you guys to be closed. Can you connect me?" And she says, "Yeah, I'll connect you." So I think, okay, I'm good. Like, whatever. So she connects me, and nothing happens. So I call her back, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we're closed." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because of the weather." And I said, "What weather?" I mean, just complete nonsense. So I said, and I'm talking directly to her, and I'm like, "Well, that makes sense, because Henry County Sheriff's Department, it does everything else screwed up, and it's all bullshit." And I hang up, and I'm like, "Uh-oh, I'm getting ready to get arrested for disorderly conduct in this building, so I better skedaddle out of here." And so I was outside, and I was mad. I mean, not like overtly like crazy mad, but like I was mad that I wasted my time, and that, whatever, and it's not dangerous and nothing's going on. So I didn't go live here on the show, but I did go live on my social media, and sometimes I will do this. This, ladies and gentlemen, everything that you get at 9 o'clock, or the little short static videos that we drop, everything on the YouTube channel, in my opinion, this is canon. This is the political spotlight canon. This is official. This is what we want people to see, and whatever. Sometimes I make posts on social media or whatever. And so for those of you that don't follow me on social media, it would be valuable for you to do that, because there are a little extra perks every now and then.
There's a little extra rants.
These little things that happen. And basically it's like,
so will they be reimbursing you for your mileage?
My time? I'm sure not.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is so wrong of government.
Well, so I decided to go live, and I was mad, but I mean, it was like not a big deal. I had, other things I was going to do. So I was like, I'll go live, and I'll make kind of a little funny. And so that's what I did. I went live, and this is what I did.
This is so funny.
Henry County.
Like, were you...
Anybody in Henry County is worth a damn.
You were going to jump into your
in
phone?
the public service.
You had to have your seatbelt on?
Yeah. None of the police officers here in Henry County was contacted by... They all went home in Henry County Friday early because of the snowstorm. They're all in until tomorrow. They're afraid. And the storm wasn't coming till tomorrow. So I do this little 10 or 15-minute little rant. And it is what it is. I'm joking. And I get some people that are like absolutely just hating on me because of this. Some guys like, I used to watch you and I used to like to watch what you do, but I don't like you anymore. I'm leaving. I'm like, dude,
I get that all the time.
You didn't exist. I didn't know that you were alive until you posted this. So first and foremost, you like leaving is not going to be a big deal. You're not hurting my feelings in any way. I'm fine. I didn't know you were a person until you made this post. So, I mean, I like that people feel like any one listener or viewer is going to make or break it. It's like, dude, get over yourself. All right. It's not that big a deal. First of all, if you can't take a joke intermixed in with the serious political crap, then you've got bigger problems than anybody else. Like if you can't kind of laugh and we can't kind of take the piss out of each other and make a joke and be funny, then we've got a lot bigger issues. I was being facetious. I was on there saying, I hope nobody breaks into anybody's house because the sheriff's department left because of the snowstorm. Obviously, the road deputies didn't leave. They are there answering calls for service. Hell, you guys are more doubly protected or maybe even more violated because you have off-duty deputies that respond to things. You know what I mean? So, like, you guys don't fear, you're protected. I'm not worried that there's not police presence.
Show up in jogging shorts.
Yeah, right. They're willing to do all kinds of things. They'll answer calls for service in Muncie and Indianapolis, and they will be there in their shorts.
They'll chase you all the way out of town.
Yeah, right. Chase you in town. If you're a person of color, or if you're gay, or if you're a woman of some kind, yeah, they will definitely help deal with you. You know what I mean?
Well, I thought it was actually very funny and a nice way to end my day on Friday, to be honest with you. When I saw you get on there and you were all
chase you to death. I will chase you to death.
People are following along. So, but if Sproles hasn't announced he's getting reelected.
Yes, he has.
Oh, he has.
Yeah,
okay.
He did. He announced it. Comically, he announced it 2 weekends ago. It was on the front side, and on the very back side was this like 5-page rundown of those people that his officers violated their rights. Like it was just like on the front and the back. Absolutely, they love Koreans.
He be telling us all his accomplishments.
Yeah, right.
That's why I'm Japanese and I stay out of Henry County, Alva. Right there. I can't imagine what they would do with an Irish Jap. I don't know. So, you guys have how many people in Henry County running? Or not you, but
Henry County currently has 2 people. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a Democrat that's running, and there might be one other Republican. But as of right now, it's 2 people unqualified to be the sheriff that's running for re-election.
Madison County, we've got a three-way race going on right now.
A three-way race?
Yeah. It's my Asian.
Yeah.
We got Brian Bell, who's a first-time candidate. It don't read everything you read.
Just because he's a bald guy doesn't mean he's Emery. Right? They might look alike.
So Emery was the one who ran with in this crew last time and lost and came in 3rd place. Bell is a new candidate. We got John Beeman and we've got Kim Stiegel. So those are the 3 that are running for sheriff.
Hello, Pam.
If you're paying attention, Rob Steele is put in again. He is going to run for County Council District 4. I do hope somebody will run against him. Hello, Pam Harris. How are you? Pam just joined us. You've missed a lot of good stuff if you're
Hey,
just joining
wait,
us.
hold on. Wait. We got sidetracked here. The reason I went into the Henry County thing was to say, so Henry County announced way back on Friday that they would not be open Monday, which blows my mind because they told me I would have to come back in on Tuesday. I was like, why? What do you mean? You're not even here on Monday? So Henry County's closed on Monday. Delaware County has first of all, they said it would be delayed. Now they have officially announced they are going to be closed. Madison County's closed. So it sounds like everyone in East Central Indiana is closed.
I sent you a couple of things. We're just going to jump around here. So if you haven't taken your Ritalin tonight, it might be a little hard to keep up.
You can go back to your elected points now.
Okay, no. So I sent you something in Messenger since you've moved us into this. I'm always amazed at how elected officials are so quick to put on social media that they'll be closed. Do you see that?
Yeah.
But they never put anything up like, hey, we're having a meeting next week. Hey, this is the topic that needs to be going on, right? But they're all over the place about letting us know that they're all closed tomorrow, right?
Yes.
So we have this
extra specially, like, they don't say, hey, we have a really important topic and we really want to hear from all of you people in the public. If you can't attend the meeting, we're going to do an extra town hall session tomorrow evening, or here's my phone number. You can call me and let me know what you think. They don't ever do that. But here's this Commissioner Olivia Pratt.
And
due to current conditions in the Madison County Government Center and Annex Building will be closed tomorrow, January 26th. Stay safe and stay warm. I will tell you, though, that this is not her only amazing post that she's made in the last couple of days. Ironically enough, she's finally made the announcement that she will not be seeking re-election this election cycle. Even though, I mean, it's crazy that she had to make that post because she did say yes to a fellow elected commissioner in another county like nearly 3 or 4 or 5 months ago.
Yes.
And everybody was like, well, clearly you're not running because you're going to be moving in with your dude up in Grant County. So
but she
did finally
decided when she put the ring on. So I don't
know.
Right.
Like, what does that tell you?
This is the game playing that they do so they don't give people enough lead time. But, so here's the thing with Olivia Pratt. She doesn't put up, hey, make sure when you're on Scatterfield, there's no lights. Be careful around there. Yeah. Or, hey, there's a big chuck hole, going down Broadway. Be safe and not try to fall into that. Hey, I mean, this is the craziness of, do you think you're a good elected official when you're only putting out stuff when you're closed?
Yeah, they're so happy about it.
You know what my question is? So will you guys be getting paid that day for the snow day? Because I'd like to know what day you'll be making this up on. Will you be coming in on a Saturday? Will you be open on a holiday? When will you be giving the taxpayers back this time that you're closing?
Catherine, you're forgetting something. They're doing this like the American school systems used to do snow days. They've got to miss like 5 or 6 days before they have to do a makeup.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not a day for day anymore.
Right. Will they be sledding over on the hill instead of, these people can work from home. They can still take calls from home.
They could do Zoom meetings and things like that.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They can still be productive, but no, we have to close. We don't care that we have an RV. We don't care that we've increased taxes for the health department so that they can have more opportunities. We don't care that now that people have been out in the cold on Saturday, Sunday, and now Monday, we just don't care about the people. What we care about is you taxpayers continue to pay taxes and we continue to get paid. Yeah. Quit voting for these morons.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when the other thing I sent you in there is that can we go over this a little bit so people can understand what's going on tomorrow in counties? Because today, Tom Eckert, I don't know if any of you saw it on Fox 59 News, he elevated the emergency in Madison County, but failed to notify the state in the state website. When he elevated it, if you were out, they could ticket you. They could do all kinds of things to you. Well, how are the people supposed to know if you're not putting it on the website? So now they've got this website up and people are asking all over social media. So I work at a box fan place. Am I essential? Can I be out on the road tomorrow because you've marked our county this? Frankton's putting out on their officers are putting out, hey, don't be out on these roads unless you're an essential worker for tomorrow. So it's really interesting. So does this mean, okay, listen, on Friday, I was in the office until a little after 5. My girls took me to the Candlelight Symphony. If you have not been to that, it was very, very good. We went to the Frank Sinatra and Nat King Cole one. It was very good. I would highly encourage anybody to go see that one. It was more of a jazz. It was live instruments. It was great. The Candlelight. So
yeah, that would have been cool.
We were in. So but I had realized on Friday, you know what? Monday's not looking so hot. So
wait. You realize that when?
Friday.
That sounds very John Sproulsish to me.
Yeah. So on Friday at about noon, I started calling all my morning people that were going to have appointments. And I said, hey, you have the option. You can either come this afternoon, you can come in the afternoon on Monday, or you can come to Tuesday. We'll work around your schedule. If you know, so all of them took it up and they all came on Friday. So we fit everybody in on Friday afternoon, got everybody in and out of there. But now look at what I sent you, that website. Did you see that in Messenger?
Let me see what we're looking at here. What website?
Just click on it. It's in the group text.
Oh, yeah.
So, can you pull that up? Yeah. So, tell us how to read this.
Okay. So
now I'm putting you on the spot if you don't know how to read it.
No. This is very clear. So basically, what this is we have a 3 color system where yellow is like, so no color is good. Yellow is like the least severe. Orange is the middle, and red is like bad shit's happening. And so you can come here and you can put your county name in here. Well,
and I will say this to everybody. Ken Kaczynski, the county surveyor, did a 12-hour shift helping the highway department clear streets in Madison County today. So what a great surveyor to go out and do such a thing. A big shout out to the highway department in Madison County. So I just kind of want to let you know.
Well, he or they didn't do dick over here in Delaware County, so I don't really care about what they're doing. No, it's great what they did. And listen, you don't have that happen. I'll tell you the only people that work like that. Tony Skinner does a hell of a job as sheriff, because being public safety, that's kind of like his world. But you don't have people over here that are like in other offices doing extra work. Hell, they're all wanting to leave early. They're wanting to do hour-long meetings. Well, they barely do their jobs. They're not going to do somebody else's. So I give him a very big round of applause for that.
With Ken Kaczynski, he absolutely can be off tomorrow because he gave the taxpayers 12 hours of service today.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I know Ken Kaczynski, he'd probably still be in that courthouse tomorrow working.
Sure. So yeah, right here it tells everyone basically there's no elevated status reported, is like when it's gray. The orange is advisory, lowest level. Local travel advisory means routine travel or activities may be restricted in areas because of hazardous situations, and individuals should use caution or avoid those areas. The orange is like a watch. So this is like a tornado warning or watch, thunderstorm warning or watch. Watch means conditions are threatening to the safety of the public. During a watch, local travel advisory, only essential travel such as to and from work. So there you go, folks. You can go to and from work or in emergency situations is recommended. And emergency action, is orange.
Orange, okay.
Orange. You can go to and from work. And emergency actions plans should be implemented by businesses, schools, governments, agencies, and other organizations. Now, the red is the warning, and this is the most severe. Okay, the highest level of local travel advisory means that travel may be restricted to emergency management workers only. During a warning, local travel advisory individuals are directed to refrain from all travel, comply with necessary emergency measures, cooperate with public officials and disaster services forces executing emergency operations plans, and obey and comply with the lawful directions of properly identified officers. Additional exceptions to the warning travel advisory are found in Indiana Code. Now, I'm going to be very clear about this so people are aware of what this means. If you go out driving, they're not going to pull you over and screw with you if you're just going from point A to point B. But if you get jammed up, if you cause a wreck, if you run off the road and you need to pull them away from doing what they're doing to then get you, you're going to get a ticket on top of whatever other bad day you're having, and you're going to get jammed up for that. So, just use your common sense, because I've heard people say, well, they're not going to tell me I can't do it. Listen, I'm the same way. If I want to go out to my grandparents' house or whatever, and we're on a code 3 red, and listen, I want everybody to hear that out here. If I want to leave my house and drive to my grandparents, I will do that, and I'm not going to wreck. I'll be fine. That's what they all say. But listen, it goes back to what my dad told me long ago. You got to be willing to pay the consequences. So if I did wreck, I took the chance. I knew what it was, and so it is what it is. But that's how you look at those warnings.
So what's Madison County in?
And I want to tell everybody, it's the commissioners that make this.
Oh, yes. Which brings me to one other point that I sent you that's right before this.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how they always say that nothing works quickly in government? It's a slow process. Want everybody to know just how quickly they can work, because the commissioners, have a declaration for tomorrow about local emergency. So things can work really fast in government. Just depends on what their priorities are. So I don't know why people take when they are like, oh, well, that's a process. Really? Because it looks like they closed down the county in 2 seconds.
Well, now there are, and see, we don't want a lot of things to move like that, but
because you allow that. Everything's treated as an urgency.
Madison is under the highest level. You are under a warning.
So I probably should cancel my afternoon patients.
Well, I mean, listen, I would consider medical to be medical would be serious, but yeah, I mean, listen, if you're not seeing anything like emergent, then I would probably cancel them. Yeah,
I can get them in tomorrow, or I can get them in on Tuesday. I can get them in on Wednesday.
Yeah,
because this is beyond their control. I hate it when I see doctor's appointments and they're like, well, "We're going to cancel you, but we'll put you 4 months out again."
Yeah,
there's no reason for that.
Yeah. Yeah, Madison County is red. It is under a warning. Madison County is.
What is Delaware County?
Delaware County.
Pam's asking, so if Madison County is in the red and they work in Delaware County, does that mean we shouldn't go to work? What color is Madison County or Delaware
Madison County is in a warning. Now, as of this thing, it says as of what?
10:15 p.m. is when this one
was is 10:15 because it says that we're a watch, but I'm pretty sure that Delaware County, the commissioners put us into the red. Let me go see here real quick on the Delaware County's page. Delaware.
Yeah, this was last updated at 10:15.
Let me go see here because I thought that they put us into the red earlier in the day.
Yeah, I'm essential. Thank you, Stumblefoot. I feel important. Are you thirsty?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. We are still under orange.
But they closed all your county schools for tomorrow, according to Paula.
The schools are closed. The government's closed.
What happened to the days where people walked uphill in 20 feet of snow and back?
The political spotlight's not closed. We don't close on holidays. We don't close on We don't close during crisis. You know, it's just what it is.
Even when you're having meltdowns, you're white on camera.
Sure, absolutely. Like, yeah, right. I mean, there's, we are ready to roll 100%.
Yeah, Frankton Police they've done a phenomenal job communicating. Frankton Police, they've done a phenomenal job. They have a plow on their police vehicle. They've been out plowing. I mean, it's been really great to see how Frankton Police have worked around the clock over the last couple of days. Edgewood Police, they have done a pretty incredible job as well. So it's been great to see them as well. So there's been a lot of people working through this. But I just thought that this is, if you don't know where to find this and you want to look at it in the morning, if you're supposed to go to work, maybe Kristopher can tell us what that address is.
Yeah, and I'll post it on my social media. Katherine can post it on her social media.
But stay informed. I would stay in if I were you. I know that my kids are at college and they were telling them don't be out drinking and then walking back to the dorm because being out so long you can get frostbite and things like that. So
okay, this is a pain in the ass name. This is www.in.gov/ for whatever reason, AI/DHS/travel _advisory.pdf. I imagine if you go to Google, let me try to do this easier. Indiana travel.
Well, they were so happy to plow Stumblefoot. They plowed your alley too. Look at that.
Yeah, right. No, this is the way. This is the easy way. So if you go to Google and you type in Indiana DHS travel advisory map, that's all you got to do. It's very easy. DHS travel advisory map. It will pull it up in very easy way. I can show you here. If you go in here, you type in Indiana travel advisory map or DHS travel advisory map, it pops up right like this, and it gives you this right here. It tells you what the things are. This tells you you can go right here to your local county. We'll go to Delaware, and we'll see what happens here. Oh, see, it clears everything off, and it just gives us Delaware counties under the orange. And then we can put that back in, and we can come up here, and we can take a look at everything and see. It's really crazy. It's really crazy that
the region isn't.
The region, because normally the region is the one that's like, red. That's where I went to college. Solid red.
Yeah.
But it's because the storm was coming from the southwest, and the higher you got.
Someone said Bloomington got 25 inches.
That's I would not be surprised.
It'll be the blowing and the drifting. That's the big problem now. So for those of you who are watching and you're at Madison County, we're starting to see some election take place. We've got a sheriff's race. We've got a trio going right there. So that'll be interesting.
Where the hell did that come from?
Well, I'm just moving on because, nobody can travel. So we're all
right.
ready to poke our eyeballs out.
Yeah, go on.
But that was a great site because I don't think a lot of people knew. Yeah.
No, go on. You're good.
So then we've got our first Democrat who has stepped into the ring of fire in District
Ed. Fred.
Yeah.
Red.
I think he's in
4.
Fred.
3.
No, Nicole is in. I always get those two backwards.
They look a lot alike.
Yeah, they're right next to each other. So I think Nicole is in District 2 and Fred is in District 3. And so they haven't announced. Fred doesn't have anybody that's running against him right now on the Republican side, but that's where Kelly Hewer lives. Her husband needs to get
that's District 3 then.
Yeah, he needs to get his last bit of, if you're in office for so long, you get a retirement.
Yeah.
Pete has never won a seat. Every seat he's had
No, but
is
he
been
has
by
been fired a
caucus.
lot.
He sure has. And so we'll see who's going to run in District 3 because Jody Norick said she is not going to run again. Diana Likens has not said what she's going to do yet. So, and that's where Mikhail Vaughn and Nicole are running against each other right now. And then we'll see if the Likens are going to stay in this fire, if they've had enough, or if they're going to walk away. So that'll be interesting. And then, let's see, a District 4, that's Bethany Keller's. She hasn't announced if she's going to run or not. It's interesting. Nobody has filed for that seat yet. So we'll wait and see what she does. Bethany is the only incumbent that I would vote for. Now, I can't vote for Bethany Keller because I don't live in District 4 or District 1. She's in District 1 up north. But she is the only one that's stepped up and actually tried to serve the people to the best of her ability. Problem is we don't have anybody on the council that will give her a second or back her. And that's a big problem. So I hope she's not discouraged. I know she has a young family. I hope she will continue to run and serve us, but we'll see what she's going to do. It is very hard for a Democrat to win in Madison County. So that will be interesting. I know that the only person so far is Mike Geringer that's running for Olivia's seat on the Republican ticket. I know that Jonathan wants that seat desperately because they go from a $14,000 a year salary that would pole vault him to a $50,000 year salary. So if you're looking at commissioner, that's full benefits. It's a 50 grand plus job. You only have to go for 30 minutes twice a month. Sometimes they run a little over, but hopefully you won't be as crusty as the lady who was earlier today. So that seat is still sitting out there. Of course, Linda Smith, she couldn't trip over herself fast enough. She wants another crack at the clerk. I hope we see a Republican come out and run against her. And then Angie Abel, she's running in the recorder's office. I'm trying to think who else is out there. Those are most of the hot seats that are
Lenny
up. All the Democrats, this is your year. If you want to be a PC, I highly encourage people to do that so you can be at the state delegate party. There's the state delegate race. So there's some things, but this is the PC for Democrats this year. So we'll see. Madison County currently doesn't have a Democrat chair, which is a bad time right now. So they got to get that together. I think they're going to vote on that this week. Other than that, Madison County is a show to watch.
Hey,
I hope somebody runs against Roray, and I hope somebody runs against Kyle Pierce, and I hope somebody runs against Gaskell.
Well, a couple of things really quickly. Number one, I do have to.
Well, Happy New Year, Lenny.
Yeah, I'm so happy you're here, Lenny. It's great. I do have to say this. I do have to correct this. City of Delaware County government is closed. The city of Muncie is open. City of Muncie offices are open tomorrow.
Damn Riding Hour, top notch right there. He
Monday, January 26th, with one exception. City court will be closed. City offices will only close if a red travel advisory is issued for Delaware County. Thanks to the hardworking Muncie Public Works Department, primary and secondary roads are currently passable. We are grateful for the efforts to keep the city moving. Please continue to exercise caution when traveling, and if you don't need to be out, it's best to stay put and allow the road crews to keep doing their jobs. So excellent work for the street department and all those guys and gals out there. That's great. Then the other thing I wanted to say was remind me about the sheriff here in a second. The other thing that I wanted to say was
is the health department open? If you're asking for Madison County, absolutely not. The health department is not open. Of course, you can bank on that. Delaware County, I don't know.
Delaware County's closed. Delaware County Health Department's closed. Damn it. The other thing I'll ask is, somebody asked you to give your for Delaware County, we have sheriff. Our sheriff is termed out, so Skinner is not going to run for sheriff, but Skinner is running for District 3 County Council. His chief deputy, Jeff Stanley, is running. That's who I'm supporting. And then there's also a longtime Democrat sheriff's deputy, David Williams, not this David Williams in the comments, but another David Williams who's running. I like both of these guys, but my support is behind Jeff Stanley. And so that's what's going on there. But I think somebody asked you how you thought that the sheriff's race in Madison County was going to shake out, and who are you supporting and what your thought is.
I honestly think that Brian Bell will take home the badge.
The win.
If
he
you
should.
ask
He
me.
needs to.
So, and here's the thing, but when you look at all of them, Kim Steele is a worker. She will get out and knock on doors. So if Brian wants to win, he's going to have to get out and knock on those doors. That is the difference, is that Kim will get out there and knock on those doors. Brian's never, that I know of, has, and I don't know this because I haven't been in the politics as long. I don't know that Brian has ever run for an office. So we may see a side of Brian that, that will be very interesting. He may get out there and work too. He's retired, so he has time on his hands. Kim is still an active deputy, so she has to campaign and do this in between campaigning and work. Brian is retired. He's only been retired for about a year. It's interesting because Brian supported Beeman in the last race. To see Brian come out now and run this is an interesting change of events.
It's very telling.
Yeah, and so it tells you that there's problems in the sheriff's department. If you're seeing a retired sheriff who retired under Beeman's leadership,
yeah,
and he wants to come back
and take his job.
That's really interesting. But I think that, and Brian's not been a perfect soul, but who has, right? So now you're going to have to weigh who is going to be the best candidate for that seat. And I have my own thought process to this. I will bring it out more. I did support Beeman. I think everybody was fully aware that I supported Beeman. But after this whole situation with reward money, and to me, it was a very dishonest situation, I absolutely will not be supporting Beeman in this race. So it's to me, it's between Steele and Bell. They will have to show me what they're made of over the next 3 to 4 months in order for me to back either one of them. But if I had to pick who I think is going to win, it would be Bell. However, Steele could come to the table and outwork him. It's going to depend. So
yeah, that's
so now, Pam, I want to say that your concern is because of his support to Beeman. Okay.
I understand.
So understandable, but we all get duped from time to time, right? So like I supported Diego Morales. What a horrible situation that has become.
You supported Beeman.
I supported Beeman, and look how, you get duped and it happens, right? And so, but what we have to quit doing is recycling when we get duped. So if we give a person a chance and they can't bring it to the table, get them out of there. It's that motto that you use even in business, right?
Yeah.
Hire slowly, but fire quickly.
Yeah.
Well, that's what voters should be doing. They should fire quickly incompetent or deceitful politicians. That's exactly what should happen. Yeah. And so that's what blows my mind is when I see all these officials recycled. How long has your commissioner been in place? The crotchety old lady?
Forever.
Yeah, and so
Forever.
Rich Wine's been in
Forever.
seat for over 25 years. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
this
nuts.
is craziness, people. And look at Madison County. Rich Wine is nothing but a hack. I mean, if we go back and we're able to get our hands on the books, I think we're going to be surprised by a lot of things, which brings me to the State Board of Accounts. People, when they put up the State Board of Accounts, they don't go through every line item. They don't go through every account. They only go through certain accounts, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So unless we, the people, are asking for records, we are asking for documents, we are asking for receipts, and we figure out what's being mismanaged, and then we file the complaint, they're always going to get a free pass, right? I mean, here's the thing. If you know people are coming and we're going to have, and you're in the military, they're coming to check our shoes. They're coming to check our uniforms. They're coming to check our quarters. Well, it's going to be great. But it's when you do that random spot check. Well, that's where I think we're falling behind. We're not randomly checking what we voted people in to do, because it's pretty clear now that these people cannot do the right thing, even when no one's looking, and they cover for one another. And so, you have to be asking yourself in Madison County, when our rainy day fund gets up to $18 million and you're raising my taxes? Yeah. What on earth is going on? You have to think about it, Madison County. Yeah. 4 years ago, 6 years ago, the jail was going to be 40 or 50 million. Now we have skyrocketed to we were at 100 million. Now, technically, 2 years ago, we were at about 110 or 115 million. Well, that was right before election. So everybody went crazy. So they got it just under the $100,000 mark. Because why? Because for some reason, people are like, oh, it's just 99 million. That's better than 115 million, right? It's kind of like when you sell something, you sell it for $3.99 and not $4, because there's just something psychological about that. Well, fast forward 18 months, right? They come to the table and they go, well, we really already need to expand the jail. We're already full to capacity, and that's going to cost us an additional $10 million. Oh, and by the way, we have that money. We have the $10 million. We're not even going to have to take it from the rainy day fund. We have the money. Only a small section of that.
Isn't that amazing?
People, we got big problems in Madison County. And if you don't fall, that's why I ran for auditor. I could have run for coroner. I would have won. I would have called it a day. But that's not where we're going to expose what's going on in this county. And that's why I ran for auditor. So it's just going to be real interesting to see in Madison County. I cannot express this to everybody. And here's the deal. Carrie McFadden, Pam Hare, all you people who live in Madison County, I need you to tell 10 people, and I need you to tell those 10 people to go tell 10 more people. And then those people need to tell those 10 people to 2 more, because here's the deal. You have to vote in the primary in Madison County. This is the only election in Madison County. And I called that last time in the 24 election. I said, whoever wins this primary, the election is over. There will be no general election. Every Republican will win that wins in that primary. And that's exactly what happened. That is going to be the same thing that is going to happen in Madison County again this year. So you have to get people registered to vote. You have to get people out there talking to each other, saying you've got to show up at the primary election. This is a big deal. Every Republican seat needs to be challenged in the primary. So this is where I'm telling everybody, the other big thing is, if you have teenagers out there, and I'm going to let Kristopher take this part. If you have teenagers out there and they are 17, some of them will be qualified to vote.
Anybody that will be 18 by November. So
not by the primary, by November.
Yeah, by the general. So if your birthday is on or before Tuesday, November Tuesday, November 3rd. So if your birthday is on Tuesday, November 3rd, or your birthday is on Tuesday or Monday, November 2nd, or in July of 2026, which means you will be 18 on Tuesday, November 3rd. You'll be able to vote on Tuesday. You can also vote in the primary. So my birthday is in July, and the very first year that I voted, when I went in, I was able to go in and vote in the primary in May when I was 17, because I was going to be able to be 18 on election day in November. So for people who have a kid, now if your birthday's in December, then you can't do it. But if it's on or before Tuesday, November 3rd, then you can vote when you're 17 in the primary, and there's no questions asked. It's very easy. So you need to get people registered. People can get registered. Registration is open right now, and you can go. It's very, 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 very simple to get registered.
And you have to, they close registration off 29 days before the primary election. You cannot register to vote the day of election. April,
it'll be like the first, it'll be Monday, the first Monday in April. It'll close. So there's a ticker running at the bottom that says www.indianavoters.com. That's Indiana Voters with an S, indianavoters.com. You can go there and you can check your registration. You can get registered to vote. You can update your name, your address, if you've moved or whatever. I highly recommend everybody go there. I go there several times a year during the election season because I try to walk people through it. But I highly recommend everybody to go there before the May election, before April, and just double check and make sure everything's good, because you don't want to get to election day and realize that you're shit out of luck. So go there, look at it, and it takes you 90 seconds. 90 seconds to 120 seconds to get everything done. All you need to do is have your driver's license, and you're ready to rock and roll. You get your driver's license, and
what if you have your permit?
You go there. What?
Your driving permit, that works too?
Your permit works. State ID. State ID. If you're suspended, it works. Passport works. If you have your grandpa's ID like I do, you can get that. You can no, don't do that. But that would be illegal.
And so, Pam, yes, I guess I could run for sheriff because I'm in the county, but I couldn't run for mayor because I don't live in the city of Anderson.
Can't run for mayor. I would have a major problem with Katherine running for sheriff. This is one thing I don't, and it's not against Katherine. So the sheriff is a constitutional.
Asians being sheriffs?
Yes, Asians.
We are kidding.
The sheriff is a Jap.
Well, Alva would want me to be Korean.
I've wanted to say that for so long. Well, never mind. That's some Blazing Saddles humor. Anyways, this is a problem I have with the election laws in Indiana with this. So the sheriff is a constitutional position. So you do not have to have law enforcement experience to be sheriff, as we see in Henry County. And so I just don't like that. I wish we could change this. It worked back in the 1800s when, anyone could do it, and you were going to be making a posse out of a couple people, and you were going to go get somebody for being a train robber or something. That doesn't work so much in today's world. It could work if there were some very specific. Here's what would have to happen. If you had a person run for sheriff that had no police experience, they would need to have someone to be their chief deputy.
You can come with me.
Now, I would do that in a minute. Then I would back you. But besides that, no, I'm not a big fan of that. But that's nothing against her. It's just against other people that do that. And this happens a lot of times. Most places, they don't have problems with this, but every now and then somebody gets a wild hair up their ass and decides to run for sheriff without any experience. And it's insane, but whatever. Go ahead.
Well, and I know we've been running long, but I want to end with this for Madison County because I've thrown a lot of information out there. I just want everybody to know that there is a caucus in Madison County, and it's in LaPel. Okay. So Brian Robertson has resigned his position. That position will serve until the end of 2027. He was the president of the council. All LaPel seats are at-large seats. So anybody who's over in that area, it's very strange. The only eligible precinct committee men is Green 1, Stony Creek 1, and 2 will be eligible to vote. So just so you know that there is a caucus. I don't know when they're closing off the applications. Christy Worthman has been attending every meeting for several years.
Yeah,
she is very well versed on what is going on in LaPel.
Did she get in there?
She did. It has been quite a show to get Kelly to actually take her application. She actually had to shove it in some lockbox behind some tree at Kelly's house because Kelly just didn't have the time to meet with her. I can't make this stuff up, okay? I just can't. And so it's in, she's got it. She's got a receipt for it. So I don't know why Stony Creek 3 isn't part of this voting system. I would be interested if anybody who lives in Stony Creek 3 who is watching this, I would be interested to know when you go to the polls and vote, do you get to vote for any of the council people in LaPel?
No.
And
they're not in the city limits.
Okay. So I would just be interested to see what your ballot looks like. So just to make sure, we're just double checking. It's just a double check.
Yeah. I can double check that with you right here, right now. No, they don't get a vote for anybody because they're not in the town limits. We looked at that. Did we not look at that? We spent a whole bunch of time looking at that.
I want to see somebody's ballot from Stony Creek 3 to make sure that that's exactly what's going on. I just don't trust these people.
I don't understand what you're saying. You don't trust.
The point is they're not supposed to be able to, but there's nothing that says that they didn't accidentally just slide that on their ballot anyway.
That's what I mean.
I think that she's saying the issue is she thinks that you think they should be able to vote in the caucus is what you're saying.
No, I would, okay, because it's Stony Creek, you think, oh, Stony Creek 1, 2, and 3, right?
Yeah.
But that's not.
The minute that I saw the map, I didn't think that anymore.
Right, but what I'm saying is people are asking that question. Why isn't Stony Creek 3 involved in this?
Because that's the same reason that Muncie doesn't vote for LaPel. Because we don't live in those.
See, this is the problem with your man brain and a female brain. We have a lot of common sense.
Okay. So tell me what the common sense.
1, 2, and 3.
No. What's the common sense?
Fire department. You think, would Stony Creek 3 be voting in this?
No, I don't get trapped by the nonsensical bullshit of names and numbers. It's more about what's important, and the importance is that physical location is not inside the town limits of LaPel.
I understand.
I'm going to pull the ballot up right now. So tell me where it is. You want what ballot? I'm going to pull it up right now.
Stony Creek 3.
Stony Creek.
So Pam, whose last name? Ballot. Kelly Hewer, which is Heuer, or
Mouse.
Christy Worthman, Worthman. Because there's 3 people right now that we're aware of that have put their names in the hat for the caucus.
Ooh.
I don't know the other two. I've never even heard their names before. But my concern is that I've never seen these people at meetings. I haven't seen them at the podiums where Christy Worthman has developed a Facebook page for Lapel on Record. She writes up minutes on what's gone on. She will, no E in there, but yes, you have everything but the E. She, you should look at how she's very eloquent at the podium. She speaks very well. She calls out all the crap and she has no problem. She does her homework. She will hold them accountable. So most of the time you wouldn't say this about a new person coming onto a board, but Christy has been so active and so involved in everything that's been going on in Lapel that she could actually step into that president's role and run that meeting. Mm-hmm. That's how involved and in the know Christy Worthman is. Mm-hmm. I would imagine if Christy does not win this caucus, which would be a disservice to Lapel all the way around. All the way around. It would be a huge disservice if Christy Worthman did not win. However, we've got Greg Valentine for Green 1. We've got Jim Bauer for Stony Creek 1. And we've got Dan Paddock for Stony Creek 2. Dan Paddock is absolutely not going to vote for somebody who holds people accountable. That just is not going to happen with him. He'll vote for whoever Kelly Hewer tells him to vote for.
Yeah.
Jim Bauer would absolutely vote for Christy Worthman. Do you know why? Because Jim Bauer is the elected precinct and she is the vice PC. But he knows she's at every meeting. And the reason why he picked her as his vice is because she is at every meeting and she's very knowledgeable in what she does. So it wasn't, they didn't know each other really. He knew of her name, but they didn't know each other when he picked her as vice PC. He asked around to a lot of people when he was picking his vice PC, and it only made sense because Christy is so involved at the meetings for her to be that person. I know what she's doing.
Okay.
And so that the other thing is, Greg Valentine, he's pretty, savvy. He pays attention. He knows who's involved, and hopefully he will lean towards Christy and he will cast his vote based on the people who are actively involved in Lapel at this time. So it would be great to see that happen. I could throw my name in the hat in Lapel if I wanted, but really, Christy is even a better candidate than myself. So hats off to Christy Worthman for actually putting her name in there. I hope she gets it because she is the most qualified. If she doesn't, I hope she runs, and I would imagine she'll run for election here because there's 2 seats that are going to be up in this election. So she'll run for election. So that'll be good to see too.
Well, good.
Now, let me tell you something. If Christy Worthman wins this seat, then running all those PCs in Madison County was worth it.
Yeah.
It'll be a big deal. This will be a big deal, and I hope she wins.
Yeah. When is the vote?
They haven't said when they're going to. I don't think I'm reading the email. I don't see when they're gonna vote. I don't know the deadline. It's going to happen at the Lapel Lions Club. I know that. So I don't know. We'll have to figure out because they've got a time frame here. So maybe they did. I don't know if they're going to do it before the filing. And that's what stinks because I hope they do it before the final filing date of February 6th, because Crystal will need to know, is she supposed to put in for candidacy or did she win the caucus?
She needs to just put in her candidacy either way. Because what do you mean? Because winning the caucus, she still has to run for office.
No, she's good in that seat until the end of 27. So she wouldn't run again. She'll run in 27. That
Okay,
seat
so then
still
she
has
doesn't
2 more
run.
years. It's only halfway through. It's a 4-year term. She
Well,
still has
but
4 years.
okay, but so you saying she would be running for another seat. So what she needs to do is she needs to put in, I get what you're saying. So she needs to file just in case she doesn't win.
Yeah.
And then she can always withdraw because she's got a week to withdraw.
Right. But she wasn't wanting to take a spot where if somebody else wanted to run, they're like, well, there's so many people already running.
I
You
got
see what
it.
I'm saying?
I got it. She
So-
needs to not worry about anybody else.
I know.
She needs to focus on herself on this because that will be focusing for the people.
Yeah, and I just sent you the email from Kelly Hewer talking about that, so you can look at that. But
hey, just before we wrap up, I saw, and I don't know if Misty Barton is still here. I don't know where Misty Barton is from. That name sounds so familiar to me. I don't know if she's from Muncie or from Anderson, but Misty Barton says, I was watching the football game, so I missed the beginning of the podcast. Did anyone address the fact that the city ran out of salt and had no way of getting more over the weekend? I understand that salt can be worthless on roads in these temperatures if not used in conjunction with, say, beet juice as brine. But why is the city out of salt in January? And I unfortunately
maybe they ran out of salt money.
Well, yeah, right, yeah. Unfortunately, she didn't say which city, and I've not heard anything about Muncie being out.
And I haven't heard anything in Madison County.
But
and while we're just on our ADHD medicines bouncing all over the place,
yeah,
the last time to turn in your candidates to declare for the caucus is Friday, January 30th at 6:30.
Friday, January 30th at 6:30. But then we don't know when they're going to hold the caucus. Muncie, Misty Barton. Okay, I thought that you were from Muncie. I haven't heard anything about that. I will do some researching, Misty, and I'll tell you what. I will reach out to some sources that will definitely know, and they will give me the skinny on what's happening. And if you do me a favor, yeah, I see you there, Misty. Thank you. If you tune in tomorrow, I will let you know 100%. I'll tell you right at the front of the show, no matter what else we're talking about, I will give you an answer and let you know what's going on with that. Because I don't know off the top of my head, but I can reach out to people and I can find out. So I will let you know. All right. Well, is that it?
Oh, and the caucus will be closed to the public. It's a secret meeting.
Oh, sure. Of course it will. Of course it will. They normally are. There's no reason for them to be.
There's not.
But whatever.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, guys, tonight. And I hope everybody stays warm. Stay in. If you're in red, if you're Madison County, I guess you're staying home tomorrow.
Yeah. And I do want to put this up on the screen just real quick as we're leaving here, because as Katherine had given a big shout out to Ken Kaczynski, as he should get for what he did. That was a big deal. Our sheriff here in Delaware County, like I said, Sheriff Skinner is in the passenger seat here. He was out running with crews. Of course, he's not up for sheriff anymore. He's running for District 3 city or county council. But I always like when we see elected officials, public servants going above and beyond. In my opinion, this is going above and beyond because this is not Ken Kaczynski's expertise or specialty. It's not his, expertise or specialty, but being out and helping the crew and just, helping, that's a big thing. So very good. Okay. We want to say a big shout out and thank you for Katherine coming on and definitely hope everything at her house is going okay. All it sounds like bodies were hitting the floor. We'll figure out. You guys, thank you for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow night at 9, God willing. We'll be here, and I'll keep everybody informed with what's going on. I'll let Misty know straight away what's happening, and we will let you guys know what's going on. It is Sunday night. It's the first night back of the week, so we have a good week of shows prepared for you all. Tomorrow, we will go over the upcoming Muncie City Council agenda, probably, unless something else crazy happens. But that's what I have in store for us, because the agenda is out, and we'll go over that agenda, and we'll go from there. So you guys take care, and have a good rest of the night. Stay warm. Be safe tomorrow, getting out and about, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Goodbye.